Good morning, Dubai. This is the Lovin Dubai Show. It is Monday morning, and we're going to kick it off with me, Casey.
And me, Masa.
And we go through the big trending stories that everyone across the city and the country is talking about. Our top story today: parents ordered to pay 65,000 dirham after their child was found guilty of bullying.
And Abu Dhabi Police warn drivers against shoulder stops and distractions.
Acts of kindness are about to go viral. We're going to tell you how.
And it's been all over our For You page. Bella Hadid was in Dubai in Mall of the Emirates this Sunday.
Looking like the ultimate supermodel. And later on in the show, we had a sit down with Miss Independent herself. We're going to talk about how Georgiana Mart turned purpose into power.
And today's Rapid Weather Report, it's mostly sunny with temperatures ranging from 22 to 31 Celsius.
Speaking of supermodels.
And speaking of hot temperatures, it's been really spicy, I think, with the whole incident that happened at Miss Universe.
There's always something.
I know. I feel like I have to tune into this because I feel like a lot of things are about to happen. A lot of things are about to go down. I love a good, reality TV drama.
Yeah, me too. Especially when it entirely plays out on our TikTok feed. But I'll tell you, I saw the beginning. I didn't see the end. So can you walk us through it?
Okay, so Miss Universe, the big international one, has kicked off, and I think we've been talking about Miss Universe Palestine participation. Okay, just recently, just last week, this is the boss, and basically, I think he's just the boss. I don't know what his title is. Nawat, organizer of this whole event. Okay, he had an issue with Miss Universe Mexico's organization, not herself, the organization,
right.
The people that sent her over to participate. Okay. He had an issue with them. They did not disclose the issue. So in front of everyone, in front of all of the participants, Nawat asks Miss Universe, he's like, Miss Universe, where are you? And he starts slamming her, going at her, calling her dumbhead. He tells her, if you follow the instruction of your organization, you're a dumbhead. So this is very disrespectful because he made her stand up, and when she was answering back and trying to basically fire back at him, he was telling her, why are you standing up talking to me? No one told you to stand up, but he literally just told her to stand up. It was really embarrassing. And I don't want to hear anything about people saying that this competition pins women against each other, because as soon as they saw that he kicked her out, everyone stood up and left with her.
Yes.
Womanhood and sisterhood, really.
How iconic.
Exactly. Look, everyone got up.
I actually saw it, and it was within seconds, right?
Yes.
Like, she stood up to walk out. They all just stood up, and it was clear, like, mistreatment. We're not going to align with this.
Yes.
This is not okay. And then is this him kind of?
That's him trying to apologize. He was crying on those interviews, and he said, I never called her a dumbhead. I called her damages, but it was clear that he said a dumbhead.
I called her damaged.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like the damages. Like he said, if you follow your organization, you'll have damages. But he said dumbhead. He didn't say damages.
I heard dumbhead, but yeah. I'd have to listen over it. He's very well dressed for an apology, no?
Yeah,
like, where is he going?
Crying. I don't know. I think he expected this amount of interviews to happen,
That type of rudeness.
Yeah.
If he did that in front, like, that's so disrespectful. I'm seeing Pazan Christ has also said the same thing. Good morning. She's also said it's so disrespectful. Like, and if that's in front of a big group of people, can you even imagine what he's like with the cameras off? Like, this was a live event, and he spoke to her in that way.
Exactly, and in front of everyone. Can you think about all of those people are your all of those people are basically your competition, and to be, disrespected in front of this group of people. But it was nice to see that everyone stand in solidarity with her. But still, like, you're on live TV, everyone's watching, and for you to stand up and be disrespectful, it's hurtful.
It just looked really badly on him. Like, I didn't think anything about her. I saw her speak a little bit after, but it just made him look like someone that you never want to work with. And so, what happened after? Did people accept the apology?
I think no, people want him to step down. This is what they want. I think they want him to step down. I'm not sure if this was a rumor, but I heard that I think the organization asked him to step down for a bit until
the publicity stops.
I think until those videos stop circling around. But bravo on those girls because they had everything to lose, but they still chose to walk out.
So solid. And when that happens, you know, if she had walked out solo, probably the world would have been watching and stood with her. But the fact that they all walked out meant that the event had to act. And we got the apology. Speaking of apologies, this is an apology in monetary form from parents after a bullying child incident.
Oh yeah, so parents were ordered to pay 65,000 dirhams after children were found guilty of bullying. The Al Ain Court for Civil Claims has reinforced the UAE's zero tolerance stance on school bullying with 2 new rulings holding parents financially responsible for the actions of their children.
So we have a couple of cases to go through. In the first case, a father was ordered to pay 30,000 dirham in compensation after his sons repeatedly bullied and filmed a classmate, causing emotional and physical harm.
In a separate incident, several parents were ordered to jointly pay 35,000 dirhams after their children assaulted another student using sharp tools, leaving the victim with physical injuries and trauma.
And so while compensation cannot erase what the victims went through, the court made it clear that accountability matters. Under Article 313 of the Civil Transactions Law, guardians are legally responsible for damages caused by minors under their care, emphasising that parental responsibility extends beyond the home into schools and community spaces.
This comes as the UAE continues tightening rules to protect students. So earlier this year, authorities announced penalties of up to 1 million dirhams and even permanent school closures if schools and staffs were found guilty of neglect or enabling bullying.
What an amazing stance for to stop bullying, and I think it's so important. You know, you look at how people develop and how we're treated in school, and it really matters. Exactly. Like 10, 20 years later, and I watch these reality shows sometimes of, you know, people going dating for the first time and sometimes they're really, really nervous and awkward and they'll put it down to the fact that they didn't get on well in school.
Yeah, it always goes on to, it affects you, by the way. It has permanent psychological effects and it really depends on the person. Some people can move on and move past it, but a lot of people, it really depends on what type of bullying they endured.
And while bullying will happen, you know, there'll always be being left out, right? Like there will always be kind of cliques in schools, which is hard to manage. But when you take it that step further, like in this instance, we're talking about the filming, the tools, that needs to be acted on immediately. And if the schools does take really strong stances on it, if there are suspensions, if there are...
They'd be scared to do it, yani.
It would stamp it out a bit. And so, but putting these fines on it, I think you will see hopefully a curb, because that sounds horrific.
And I do think parents and the staff members are very, very responsible for this, because I remember growing up, a lot of parents would defend their children, even if they were at the wrong, but they would always have the stance where they defend their children. So this is why I say parents are responsible. So if you get one complaint that your student is bullying someone, I think you need to take it back home and try to maybe discipline this child, punish them, show them what happened, tell them about the damages. I think strict boundaries and guidelines of not to bully, like you have to implement it in school.
But no, I don't know about, like, it's also about wondering why the child is doing the bullying. Yeah. And so schools need to act firmly on it, but parents probably need to say, okay, why is this happening? And, you know, maybe sometimes you see like there could be neglect in the home, and sometimes they bully because they don't get the attention at home, and so they bring it into school. So, while you'd hope for the parents to do that, you also want them to kind of, you know, nurture and support and, I don't know.
Having maybe like a psychology consultant always helps at school as well. I remember back when I was, I think, in 5th grade, I will never forget it because it was really bad. So I was bullied by this specific group, okay? And I informed my parents and I informed my mom. This teacher, I'll never forget her. She was horrible. This teacher, like in front of everyone in class, in front of my bullies, she said, you don't have to inform your parents of every single thing that happens. So if you do get bullied, you don't have to go back and inform your parents. And she doesn't want to do anything about it. She's like, this is a character development.
Oh my God, that would never happen today, though.
That would never happen, yeah. But that was, I think, she said that's part of your character development and your personality. And then she was screaming at me in front of everyone in class, in front of my bullies. So they continued to bully me, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We used to, if we were in trouble, it's not really bullying, but the teachers would, because it was a boarding school, they'd make us wake up at 6 a.m. and go outside and run laps. So cold.
You know what? That's a good punishment, by the way, and a good exercise.
And then the seniors would make you do like these wall sits on the walls, but it wasn't too bad. It was This sounds a bit worse.
You grow and you learn.
You grow and you learn. Moving on to our next story, another story from the capital.
So Abu Dhabi Police warn drivers against shoulder stops and distractions. Abu Dhabi Police, together with the Traffic Monitoring and Control Center, has released a new awareness video highlighting the serious dangers caused by stopping on road shoulders and driving while distracted.
The footage, which you can see beside us, shows real incidents where sudden shoulder stops and driver inattention led to major accidents. I actually had an incident like this weekend, putting lives at risk. Authorities are urging motorists to stay fully alert behind the wheel and avoid unnecessary stops on the shoulder, which carry a 500 dirham fine under the UAE traffic law.
Drivers who experience a breakdown are reminded to follow safety tips, exit the vehicle immediately, move to a safe area away from traffic, and call 999 for assistance. Police stress that proper road behavior, staying focused, avoiding distractions, and using only designated emergency areas is essential to keeping both drivers and other road users safe.
Keep your phone away.
Keep your phone away, and please don't use the emergency lane for you to get past the traffic.
Yeah, oh my gosh, when
It's
you see
very
that.
dangerous.
But we know that, I don't know how these,
God.
what that video we're seeing behind us? Sorry, we're looking at a video that's on the LED and it's absolutely mind-numbing that someone was driving that. Let's move on to a lighter note. Acts of kindness are about to go viral. We're going to tell you how. Mr. Beast, content creator extraordinaire, is teaming up with the 1 Billion Followers Summit to launch the world's largest creator-led social impact movement. The mission, the challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to create 1 billion acts of kindness.
So from helping the elderly and the homeless to planting trees and uplifting communities, every act counts. So here's how you can join. Do an act of kindness, capture it on video and post it on your social media channels. And don't forget to tag Mr. Beast and 1 Billion Summit. Use the hashtags #Billion Summit and #1BKindness.
So that's basically submitting your entry, and you can submit your entry as well at 1billionsummit.com/Mr. Beast. The campaign has already kicked off on the 7th of November with a flagship project in Ghana aimed at ending child labour by providing education, clean water, healthcare and sustainable livelihoods for families, thanks to the Mohammed bin Rashid Global Initiatives and the Varki Foundation. Now, how all this ties together, you may ask, is 1 Billion Summit, which we know is happening in Dubai, has teamed up with Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is asking the world to do acts of kindness. The top 10 acts of kindness will be announced at the 1 Billion Follower Summit, and those 10 creators will then go to Ghana with Mr. Beast and help build a town there, which is amazing.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see what people would submit. Like, do you think we're going to be having access to what people post?
Well, because you can see if they...
I think if we attend... Of course they're going to tag it. We're going to see it on social media platforms.
So Mr. Beast will be tagged. So just go onto Mr. Beast's Instagram account and then you will, in the tagged pages, you should see them.
But I wonder what type of things, because we already see it in the community either way. Like us, Lovin Dubai,
we see it all the time.
Yeah, we see it all the time.
And what happens is if there's a really good one, if there's a really nice thing, one person will post it, then we post it, and then other people will copycat it, which is really nice. Like that story of the three men in, I always remember this story in Bird Dubai, and they saved the cat from the building, from the roof.
Oh God, this video.
And so it got shared everywhere. The cat got saved. And then the leadership in this country gave those three men 50,000 dirham.
Well deserved, really.
But then, yeah, well deserved, of course. But then what you found was more cats got stuck in places and more people were filmed saving these cats.
I know what you mean.
Copycats.
Copycats. Do it out of your own good, not just capturing.
Yeah, well,
do it out of good heart.
We always have the conversation of should you
film or not.
Should you film acts of kindness? However, if they achieve this goal of 1 billion acts of kindness or 1 million acts of kindness, on the other end of that filming will be 1 million smiles. And what a great thing.
I think it's just a way to push people, to encourage people to do good, you know, and as soon as they see how good it feels, I'm sure they're going to take part, you know. But it's about it's good to do it always in front of the camera, but having it online and having it in front of you, I think it's always a good reminder to see those things happening. That you need to do also take part in like simple ways, or just be nice to people. For example, at a petrol station, just say thank you. That's the least that you could do. I think this is just a good initiative to just remind people of we go on in our daily life being so privileged. Okay, we tend to forget, the other people how they're living. Good awareness.
Such a good point. And speaking of acts of kindness, this actually leads us very nicely into our interview for the day. We got to sit down with this amazing lady called Georgiana Mart. She has business, but it's business with a purpose. What do we mean by that? Stay tuned to find out. The interview will be with you after this very short break. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai Show. Our guest today is Georgiana Mart. She is a global entrepreneur who is all about creating opportunities to grow, learn, but most importantly, helping people reach their highest potential. From business and education to travel, training, and most importantly, philanthropy, she exists to empower people to live life to the fullest, as she herself is doing. Today, she represents a powerful self-made woman who finds the greatest sense of purpose in being of service to others. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to dive in. And my first question is, I heard that when you were growing up, I think you were 4 or something, you had a powerful moment and something triggered a passion in you to help others. Can you share with our audience about that story?
Yeah, so I was about 4 years old and I went with my mom to an orphanage back in Romania to give food to the children. Mm-hmm. And I remember that moment because, all the kids were jumping and grabbing the food. And I understood that not everyone is as lucky as me to have a family, to have access to food. And that moment really shaped my life because it gave the destiny that I have today.
You were 4?
Yeah. It's the first memory of my life.
Can you remember, at that point, how it changed you, the exact emotion that you felt? You must have gone home that day and it was an immediate trigger to change something?
Yeah. Yes, because I wanted to take everyone home, So I understood. My mom told me it's not possible. And then I keep on thinking at them and how they are suffering and how is my life and how is their life. Yeah.
So interesting to be touched from that point. Mm-hmm. And you have a really interesting journey and I hope to delve into it today because I know that you also first launched a company at just 24. So can you explain how you had the confidence and how that even came about?
I was still a student in my last year. I finished business and bachelor in business administration in Switzerland. And I was doing the last semester. And I wanted to start a company. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be free. So I had the courage to really start it.
And what was the business?
My first business is manpower, basically international recruitment. I bring people from one country to work in another country.
Oh, so interesting. And I guess what was the biggest challenge at that time for a 24-year-old starting an international business? Mm-hmm. What were the biggest challenges you faced then?
Being a woman. Being a woman was the biggest challenge because I was in an industry and in a part of the world where men had the power. So me being so young and so inexperienced at that time and entering into a world dominated by men was really a challenge.
It's so interesting and to see how women can rise. And I just wonder if there's a 24-year-old woman watching today or any age woman who's trying to rise in her career, would you have any advice?
Yeah, be brave. Be brave, follow your instincts, and go forward. You'll find solution for every problem because everything in the world has a solution. Just be brave and find it. Yeah.
And you've moved on. So your first business at 24 was in manpower. Can you explain a little bit more about what other businesses you started until now?
Yeah, so I'm in manpower, as I said, education, business setup, travel and tours, cleaning, properties, and language institute. So from one business, I went to the other one, and now we are here, and we are in 8 countries working.
Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
I always find it so inspiring to meet women who have, broken boundaries. And I wonder, you've mentioned education, travel, training, and of course, charity. So how do you connect all of your ideas under one vision? And what is your vision?
My vision is to give purpose to people and always save and serve them, in the life. So in everything I do, I want to treat people nice and to give them a value. So if they come to my company and get a service from me, I want them to be fully satisfied and their life to level up. And at the end of the day, it's all about charity. Right. Because from all my businesses, I go into charity and I give a big percentage to the charity, to orphans.
That's amazing. And so through all your businesses, that would be the common thread that connects all of them?
Yeah. The desire to provide for the children in all over the world, for the orphans. There are over 250 million children that are orphans in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So
250 million?
Yeah.
And so how do you decide where to distribute the money in terms of charities? Is there any specific charities that you work with?
Yeah, so I started in Romania. I have a foundation myself. It's called Emilia Foundation. And through the charity that I have, I'm working in all the countries where I have an office.
Okay.
So this is how I go and distribute.
And I'm sure your employees must feel a sense of value to know that the companies they work for has a mission and a purpose. Have you ever been touched by an employee's reaction to that?
Yeah, all of them, they want to get involved. Oh. Not with the financial part, but with their free time. They come, they help us do donation, they spend time with the children in the orphanages. So all of them are involved. And I have only positive people in my team. And this brings me so much joy.
How amazing to hear a company having such an important vision and for the employees to kind of feel that and to want to give that back as well. I know that you talk a lot about giving dignity through work. So how do you bring that belief into your daily decisions?
So I will give you an example. Let's say a worker from Nepal or from India or from Pakistan comes to our office to get a job as a laborer somewhere in Europe. We are going to treat that person in the same way as we are treating a CEO that is searching for a new job. Mm-hmm. For us, everyone is equal, everyone gets dignity, and everyone gets respect.
And what are the practical steps in line with that you take?
So it's all about the paperwork. We get to know the person. They give us the CV, and we are shaping a life path for them. What do they want from their profession? What level they are now? So how can we give them jobs where they can grow in those jobs also and become better and better and better?
Mm. Speaking of growth, and I think that brings us kind of into education, was there a moment during your studies that you saw the value of education for a person's growth?
Yes, it's all about education, People are different in so many ways, but one thing that should be very important for everyone is education.
Mm-hmm. And when you were studying, was that philosophy kind of shared? Were you a studious person when you were studying, or it's something that you look back on and realize?
Yes, I was a nerd. I have to admit I was a nerd, yeah. I finished my studies in Geneva, Switzerland. I was in an international school, and there I had the chance to meet so many people from so many parts of the world and so many cultures, and I understood how everyone is the same but so different. So I could connect with everyone, and I understood that we are so privileged to be there, and there are kids in other parts of the world who are not that privileged. Mm. Yeah.
Being a boss is a really challenging role, especially if you have teams internationally. Yeah. You're putting the bread on the butter of these people's tables, and so it's very important. And I just wonder, have you ever had to make any personal sacrifices or family time sacrifices, mental health sacrifices to protect your team and to put your team first instead of you or your family?
For sure, all the time. In my business, my first priority in the business is to provide for the people who are working for me because I'm responsible for them. And I have over 130 employees now in 8 countries. So that's not an easy responsibility. And I remember a story. Last year, I had a big problem in my branch in Sri Lanka. It was a problem with one of the employees who misappropriated some funds, and I had to stay there for 6 months, from March to September, to make sure everything is saved, everyone gets refunded. The other who want to continue the process, they continued with us. So I sacrificed everything just for my company and for the people and to be there.
These are the types of leadership dilemmas that people don't see that kind of go on behind the scenes. Another thing that's probably going on behind the scenes for Georgina is, your family has a long business legacy, but as we understand, you completely went your own path, completely separate, self-made woman. Why did you decide to move away from your family's legacy?
I didn't move away. I just decided to start my own path while honoring what they do, because I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be free. I didn't want to, depend on my family or my father or my mother. I wanted to have my own path and create my own legacy. And I think the desire for being independent and free and happy made me choose this way.
And so looking back at that decision now, how does your family respond to your success?
They're very proud, especially my mom. Yeah. She's all the time saying, I didn't help her at all. She did everything by herself. And she has this pride, that I did it without them.
Oh, moms.
Yeah.
You can't beat mom's pride. But how, I guess, do you balance honoring your family's roots while building your own identity as an entrepreneur? What's kind of the happy medium there?
So I do everything following my values and the principles. I've been seeing since I was very young, my parents working, waking up in the morning. So my mom was working from 5 in the morning to 10 in the evening, So I saw them working and I saw the results of their work, and they really shaped me in life. And now I do everything following principles and values that are healthy for me and for the people around me. And that's the best way to honor them.
And what is a typical day like for an international business leader?
It all depends where I am. But I start my mornings with meetings. So I have a business in 8 countries now. So I have meetings with each of the country, like the main team of each country. We decide what happens that day. We talk about the previous day. We think about the long-term plan. And we do the same. And then if I'm, for example, in Dubai, I will go and see the office in Dubai and spend time with the team there, meet the clients, see what we can improve and what we can do better.
You mentioned core vision and values and principles. And then, of course, you've got long days. So you're an ambitious person, you're purpose-driven. So how do you stay calm when pressure rises? I imagine businesses see problems every day.
Yeah.
Do you have a technique to tell our audience, this is how to remain calm when there is a crisis?
You think about the end goal. For me, end goal are the orphans and my work in charity. And all the time I think about that. And I think it's what to do best in order to be able to keep providing for them. And that really helps me, gets away all the problems and helps me be focused.
So interesting. I think people do say that once you have that kind of core value, it does get you through. Very interesting. Finally, before you leave us, we love to, share advice with the audience. For anyone starting a business to help others, what would be one key piece of advice that you would give to them?
For the philanthropical side, awareness. Be aware that there are over 250 million children, according to World Health Organization studies, that are all around the world, even in your country, in your city. So do something for them and think about them. Think about your life, think about their life, and think about how to really make them happy. When you do something, create something for them because they don't have anyone.
Oh. Georgiana Mart, a purpose-driven visionary leader. From the age of 4, she had a passion to help others, and she is doing just that. If people want to find out more about what you do, if they want to learn from you, if they want to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
So I have a website, georgianamart.com, and they can see all my projects there, and especially my charitable work, and they can get awareness from there.
Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, that is the end of the Lovin Dubai show. We'll leave it there, but we're back with you every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.